Happy Friday. Good morning to the few of you that are awake, not enjoying the nice weather all across the globe today. Besides a few of you that live in, I don't know, bad weather year round. What is it? I think it's like pitch black in Iceland right now. So, I mean, you have that going for you. If you live in Iceland, you just keep sleeping. Either way, happy Friday. Yesterday, we had a lot of fun, a lot of gains, and across the whole market, pretty risk on appetite wise. Something we've expected. We got a little bit yesterday. We are continuing it today, which it's good confirmation to have 2 days in a row of the same idea, and not just to have, as we've had have sort of been seeing over the last week or so, is this, oh, we're going risk on, and then we sell the next day, buy the next day. Again, this sort of back and forth is not very good. We want healthy price action. Continuing today is a nice sign. Now, it's important to note again that value is still leading the entire conversation. Everything that gets talked about, whether it's vaccine. So, for instance, Biden going on saying we're going to double the vaccine count in the first 100 days to 200 million, is obviously towards the reopening side of things. That's not to your big tech companies, right? Important to note that that's all value. That's all reinflation ideas. Yields increased on that. Dollar came down a bit. These are really straightforward things that, again, we've been betting on for a long time. But again, I think there's still some probably some vibes out there of, oh, maybe we can get growth to come back sooner. It needs to coexist with the value trade that everyone's already been a part of and has not left. That's the important part to note, is that we've all just been here and we haven't left. This is still the trade over anything tech-wise, right? So again, everything runs through value right now because what's happening in the world, the economy's opening up. We're trying to get over a pandemic. We're trying to do anything to stimulate the economy, and it is stimulated, and it is going to be getting going. So again, those things aren't going away. What we understand, though, is that we've basically reached a baseline. We've reached a baseline where we can now sort of take the other side and trade that to the upside as well off of what we think is its low, or at least the market's projecting it's its low. Now, there's plenty of situations where that's not true, and again, that comes down to individual tickers. There's still obvious areas in which we're not ready to continue to, or we're not ready to look at them as risk on and put the money there, especially when you look at it as opportunity cost. So those of you that don't have the money to go quite literally buy anything in the market, then your trades should be going through value. And there is no such thing as just trying to guess the bottom on all these tickers and trying to, not guess, but try to get the low and then have to get stopped out multiple times. You can quite literally have just been in a value trade the whole time and been gaining and not losing as the market comes down. That's still the area to be. We're not talking about like days here. We're talking about months of time, right? Let me go over to the banks because we have some things to talk about. First of all, futures. Let me just get out of the way. Futures green, down. Russell 2000 up the most, about 0.5%. Russell 2000 almost 1%. S&P is heading up to almost. There's about 30 basis points right now. Nasdaq's down about 20 basis points, again, because of yields increasing. And then that's very determined on individual tickers. Asia was up a bit today, sort of a recovery, rebound sort of thing. It's down a shit ton, so obviously we're not going to look at that too much. Europe's pretty bullish today. Again, all value. Yields are up. This is, again, betting on economy reopening. As soon as Biden said 200 million vaccines, bonds are going to go up, right? Anyway, so, for instance, banks. So banks just got the go-ahead dividend freedom from the Fed. Basically means you guys can do what you want now, which we have been seeing. We've talked about a few of these ideas of things that are going to happen. We already knew that this is, for instance, one of those things that was just in line. When COVID started, there was a lot of things that sort of went on the bank side that it always happens. Whenever there's some sort of downturn, whenever there's some sort of maybe problem, what does the government do? They go, oh, hey, banks, hey, don't tell anyone else, but here, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want, okay? And so that sort of thing happens, and then at some point, we come out of that. But there's also things that we continue to do for banks. For instance, allowing banks to do whatever they want with their dividend. And so that's up off of that news, but not just the news. We've already seen the fact that we're continuing the trend here. I talked a lot about liking this trade down here. This isn't really even preempting a trade here. This is quite literally just buying on nice candles off of a pullback that you have an expectation off of a very bullish candle, 2 bullish candles to head to the upside. Obviously, we took the trade down there at the low. You want to be buying on a support here. That was a very nice trade. So again, we're going to be pushing this. This is not like a you take profit on this on Monday sort of trade, unless you bought like April's and you're happy with the gain you got there. That's entirely fine. But and some of us will do that, but not the whole thing. Again, it's important to be able to have this position and push it, not cut your legs off. If you're trading value, then you want to get value out of your trade, right? It's not like tech where you can get a ticker that all of a sudden jumps up 10% and you're like, well, fuck me. I guess I just made 100%. I'll just take the money now. That's not really what's happening here. What you're getting is a trade that does not have much risk, but it's going to take some extra time because of that. And so again, that's why some of you don't like the value trade, is it's the speed at which things happen is completely different, and it's entirely dependent on the direction in which it's moving. And if it's not moving in that direction, then it doesn't really, it feels just strange to be in that trade, because it's not bouncing back and forth like a maniac all the time. That's the whole point. That's literally the entire point, right? When there's short-term volatilities, to be in trades that don't every day, when you look at P&L, bounce all the way, and you have some spread up and down, and you actually don't even know if you're going to be gaining in the future. You're just like, well, I mean, I'm going up and down every day, so that's not the point of this trade. So again, we're looking to push this further, along with banks, energy, Suez Canal. They're saying weeks to unload the fucking ship and move it. It's such a strange thing to think about, that this is somehow affecting prices here, but I mean, it is. So it's difficult. So we take this trade. We want to take this trade no matter what, whether the canal gets blocked or not. And now we have to actually price it in. It's going to cause prices to rise. Now, here's how we can think about this. I've talked about this before. If the thing that we're trading, its supply chain gets affected, and now there's a removal of supply, and price is going to increase on the economic side of that supply chain. If those prices are increasing on the equity side, you will see and get exposure to that, and prices will increase. So of course, canal gets blocked, and we get an increase in price on the energy side, on the crude side, on WTI, all of these oil, anything tracking oil, right? You get a move. Now, WTI is the thing that's not moving, but this is the lagging side of things. So if you look again at crude moved immediately. So everything's now coming back through. You can see the movement here. This is trying to figure out how to trade fucking news. And so this over here, though, is the actual futures, and this is trading into the future. So this is trading contracts to buy up crude or to buy up WTI oil, right? And so this over here is a good example of, okay, this is not heading to the upside, right? We're just tightening and trying to figure it out. You come over here to energy, okay? Is this only going up because of crude, because of what's happening in the canal? No. I know the charts basically looks like the bank chart, but of course it has there's a entirely different thing going on here. It felt disingenuous on this day here that we took this trade down here to preempt a move to the upside, just like we did on banks. Banks had a little bit better technical support. And then this day comes because then there's a canal blockage and prices are going up. Yes, that's true, but is that the reason? Well, if we look in relation to futures, futures are not pushing price up right now. On the equity side, what do we do though? We're speculative and we're betting on things to happen. Are people buying up energy right now because they're betting on the canal being blocked for weeks at a time? I highly fucking doubt it. You don't bet on XLE here and all of like XOM and all these things because of some canal block. That will happen on the commodity side. And since it hasn't happened on the commodity side yet, then it's not affecting the equity side. Again, equities get affected by every market, but if the other market's not doing anything, then it can't affect this market. So for now, we are not really seeing it. So it's important to note that as we've been in this trade and as we make this trade, that we don't all of a sudden get really short term. And this is why coming off of like the bank note thing, for banks, we're not trying to cut our legs off. We want to be able to push that further, just like this move here, right? The same thing applies here, but if you have a news event that affects price, a lot of times what you'll do is you'll actually cut down your timing. You'll be a little bit more sensitive and realize that there's something affecting price. And so what you'll want to do is say, okay, maybe actually here, I need to get out of this trade a little bit sooner, because again, you have some sort of tail risk due to a fucking canal block, which might take forever. You don't actually know, and so you have risk involved. So due to that risk, you need to get out of the position. We're not going to do that because, again, we don't really have that. If something changed on the oil side of things, again, things can really rapidly change with oil. Again, like I said, I mean, the lowest oil can go is negative 37. No big deal, right? Well, it's only the lowest is negative 37, and it takes about an hour to get there. So, but is that going to happen here? That's the opposite. So it's the opposite. Really, our tail risk is really like a tail reward. It's not really a risk. So it's sort of a good thing for prices to go up, and that's what we're betting on anyway. So that'll be a lot of fun, right? So those are our two benchmarks, right? Otherwise, again, all of our let's bring it back. All of our Dow side things are great. Everyone's happy that I posted T. Fuck me, right? T's a dog. You literally have to. You couldn't pay me enough to go buy that. You'd literally have to put a gun in my head to make me buy T. T is never gonna move. You can make more money on bonds, the yield on bonds, than you would on the dividend from T over a year. Yet here we are, right? Back to the same thing. Oh, Facebook's a dog. Fuck Facebook. Short Facebook. And then weeks later, here we are, right? That's why the equity market's great, because one day you have an idea and then the market does something else and then you have a different idea because of that. And here we are, trading T. In terms of this move, there's well, I mean, we don't need to make a story. Let's just do the technical. We talked about this level, and that's why. If this resistance doesn't break, this thing's not fucking going anywhere. Look at this. It's disgusting. I mean, it still sickens me to look at this chart. It's just gross. There's so many problems, right? Now, here's something that led me to, on some of these tickers, to not like believe, but have an expectation that these levels will break. And again, just like the other value charts where I talked about retracing to the high, the reason I talked about retracing was because they were going to break their level and it would cause a lot of velocity, which would turn sort of a dog, into a momentum-based trade. Is T ever going to get momentum? No. But is anyone ever going to buy it if it's not moving? Yeah, no one's ever going to buy it, right? It needs movement. If this breaks here, and again, this is just a plan, if this breaks here, well, all of a sudden you have this trend here that we've been on. Consolidation on a supply level that we know there's massive amount of selling. If you fill all of those sellers, all of a sudden you've got no one really left up here to stop the move. And so, again, this is just like the other value trades. This is really, if you want an example of this, this is back in November of last year. And then before that, when we were starting off value trades, I would look to some of those gap up areas where things gapped up. And then we were really getting into those trades. That's because the level broke. And as soon as it breaks, again, there's a lot of movement. There's been no movement here. And this is a dog, right? It's still a dog until said otherwise. But again, we're betting on a move that it will break. And so, for instance, if there is a breakage of supply, again, it's going to move. That's what we're betting on movement. We're not betting on a specific price or something, right? So it's not like we can say for sure this would just be the movement if this continued. But we need to get involved. I think you just have to get involved. So again, I can shit on it for as much as I want. We're going to get involved. There's one other thing to think about that crossed my mind for why I first of all even looked at this. I did do the levels for you guys, and then I thought about, for instance, though, there is so much fucking cash out there, guys. It's so for banks. I've talked about this. If banks have money, everything is an opportunity. Banks right now have more cash than any time in human history. They have more not more banks. They have more cash than ever. They just have capital fucking sitting around, just loads of fucking cash that they needed to have for reserves. And now we're sort of out of the shit show. Banks are going to be ready to spend. You have to realize we still have trillions of dollars of cash out there, just sitting around not doing anything. That's trillions of dollars of investment. What have we been saying, and not what have I been saying, but what has the market been telling us? That the only thing you can really buy is equities. No one wants to buy bonds, obviously, because everyone's selling them. No one wants to go into commodities besides the small side of commodities, the super cycle idea, but it's not really a demand-driven thing, it's supply-driven. Nobody really wants to go into emerging markets. We're going into emerging markets, but it's not like you're putting a fucking ton of investment out there. Everybody wants equities. And then when you go to equities, what do you want to buy for equities? Well, you're always going to buy Apple. But growth right now is not great. And so, again, what is everyone's trade right now? It's the value side. Okay, now you're a big bank. What do you look for as a big institution, as any big fund? What are you trying to get out of that trade? First of all, you're not trying to lose money, and you're trying to get a gain in a different form, such as what? A dividend? Oh my God, are we buying tea because of the dividend? It hasn't fucking moved in a year, but those dividends, am I right? Again, just to be a reminder, you would right now get a larger yield on fucking treasuries and bonds than you would on the dividend from tea. That's just a reminder, right? You would make more. Just a reminder. But if the price goes up here, then it's worth it. It hasn't gone lower, so you don't have a risk of going lower, basically at all. But you have a lot of reward for going higher, and you have a fucking dividend, which, think about it. Think about all the Dow stocks. Everything in the Dow, you basically have a fucking dividend, right? And right now, the S&P dividend fund is making less of a yield than the bonds are. So if you're going to go somewhere, again, it's these, you're going to pinpoint and be active trading. There's so much cash out there, everything's going to get fucking bought. There's almost nothing that can be done about it. And that's what's great about it, is everyone's just going to buy fucking equities, as always. We are so close to the all-time high. It's silly that we get so scared all the time. We're right next to the all-time high in the market. We're literally right here. We're right off the high. Some tickers are fucking God knows where, dying still, but we're right off the high. There's so many reasons. So many reasons with the economy opening up. Again, that does affect growth. Yields do hurt growth, and that's why when we're trying to get those trades, we're trying to bet on their low. Not that they're great now, but value and everything else. And again, doesn't even need to be specifically value. It just needs to not be a fucking tech giant. Is doing great because the economy is opening. So again, what have we been doing? We've been buying everything. If you bought everything and you bought anything you could, you're doing very well again today, right? And that's what's great about just being able to get in, is that now maybe you did buy at the low, right? Now you may get cucked again. Everything looks green this morning. We look at pre-market action. We're like, wow, travel's even up. Wow, and you know, it's really easy to be like, okay, well, this is good, and that makes me happy, right? These are different things. Yeah, sure, Monday we could get cucked. But are we going to, just because something could happen, are we not going to do something? Does that mean we're going to take profit today because something bad could happen? No, because so much good could happen from here. And there's an expectation that there's going to be good happening here. If we were going to be breaking down, then we would break down, right? We would just break down, and we need to remove all of the, I don't know, the constant fear and anxiety all the time of doing anything. We want others to feel like that so that we can take advantage. But again, I think today is going to be probably another difficult day if you're not in a position. It's going to be, if you get momentum, and based on pre-market action, we already have a lot of momentum on tickers. If you're not in a position, I mean, I know probably everyone here is in a position, but I just mean in terms of if you're trying to buy more, it probably is going to be difficult, because what are you going to get? We're going to get opening higher on a lot of tickers. You're going to get momentum, and you're going to have things pop up that you might go, oh, well, that's moving pretty fast. Let me go put my money there instead. That kind of thing really throws you off. This is where being in a position will actually help you from like trying to chase other things and hurt yourself. It's going to be interesting. I do think that today we get we've already seen it's going to be a Green Friday. I don't expect like a drawdown and then it turns into some sort of take profit day, because again, it doesn't. That's not where we are. Think about this Friday here. We're sort of in a similar sense. We're sort of in this sort of pivot, but it's a lot more bullish. It's important to realize that this is more bullish than sort of over here, right? This was a Friday right here. This is the Thursday though. This is Thursday this week. This turn here, this is a lot more bullish. This is a lot more bullish. Think about the difference is that we're at a higher value, and there's still bullishness from yesterday going into next week. That's happening at a higher price point though. Higher price point, and this consolidation and the pullback that happened was a lot shorter and happened in a much tighter fashion, with basically no long positions being exited, which again means that we have the demand is well over the supply levels. I mean, it's not even close, right? Because again, we didn't really pull back, yes, on the tech side, but again, that's because portfolios are not lined up over here. Like I've said, 90% of my portfolio is tied to the value side. The nightly news Dow play, the dirty Dow, and then everything to do with banks, energy, and all value, REITs, right? So again, that's most of the market. It's important to continue to remember that's most of the market and where it's going to continue to be. What we're doing now is fighting over the scraps over here and trying to catch the bottom over here, right? We're going to keep doing that, of course, because we're already in position and we can afford the risk to do so, right? And that's why I keep saying if you don't have the risk availability to go try to do this, then you need to just stay in the lane and stay on that side, because that shit is just fucking roaring right now. I mean, it's just not even funny. It's really silly. Again, every time I watch like Bloomberg or watch like the analysts try to talk about it, they don't have good answers for it, because it's like, well, why is this going up still? Why is this doing so well? And they're trying to talk about like the Nasdaq or like the S&P off of its high, or the Nasdaq like 8% off its high or something. It's like, okay, what are we doing right here? Like, what are we even talking about? Or like how again, how banks could be getting beat up and how this is going to be bad. It's like these things are not. It's never easy, and making the trade is not easy. But it's not hard to just look at a chart objectively and just to accept it. This is a fucking trend. Like these kind of things, and that's what the thing about the Dow is so frustrating, is that it's really hard to accept that this is a trend, because it doesn't really. We don't really do that. That's not something that we do. And again, it's the same thing with, think about when we came out of COVID, the Fed was printing money and we knew what the Fed was going to do, but why didn't all of us just go take out loans for $1 million and put it on the market and bet on market going higher, right? We knew the Fed was going to be pumping the market with liquidity. Money supply was going to go up and that markets were going to appreciate. Yes, we were going long, but we were trading it like every fucking week. We were in and out of positions. Why didn't we just bet long that the Fed obviously is providing liquidity and the market's going to go up, right? Because it's just not that fucking simple, right? It's not that easy. But that's really how fucking simple it is. It's like, well, the Fed was going to be providing liquidity and we were just going to pump the fucking market QE-wise, and that's it. There's literally nothing else that matters. Deaths go up, market goes up, right? That was it. That was literally it. Recession in the economy, market goes up. Why didn't we all just fucking bet long then? Why do we have such trouble? Yeah, a lot of us made a lot of money, but we were doing sort of swing bets back and forth every fucking day. Short-term volatility doesn't really fucking matter in the long run. It matters in the moment though, right? And it really affects our feelings and the way we think about things, and it changes our minds on things all the time. Like you can go from disliking Facebook to liking it, disliking tea to disliking it. You know, it's a good one. The other one, the Dow is the best example because I said the Dow is a dog, but BA is a part of the Dow. BA was a dog, right? BA was terrible, and then love it, right? Love it. Again, this will happen because of short-term volatility. In the long run, though, is anyone betting against Boeing? No, of course not. Is anyone betting against T in the long run? No, of course not. It's just how do you get into that trade opportunity cost-wise that you're not going to be losing money comparatively to something else. That's the biggest issue with trying to do this stuff. Right now, that's the value side. The value side right now is the side that's over growth. Yes, growth in the long run will go up. Apple will continue to go up in the future, I promise. I'll put any amount of money you want in it. But am I going to put all my money on there for a long trade right now? No, I'm going to leave all my money into the value trade and then try to catch Apple at its low in a short-term sense every single fucking time it's at its low, right? Yes, I'm going to keep betting on it when it comes in there. But again, understand portfolio-wise what you're doing here. I think it's really easy to get thrown off. It's so easy to get thrown off. And what you're supposed to be doing because it's not fucking intuitive. It's just not easy, right? Anyway, Green Friday. I love it. I love where we are. It's just fun, right? It's just fun. A lot of fun yesterday. Again, sure, buying at the low makes it more fun because you're making money. But even if you're not, there's so many opportunities. The volatility we've been getting is we definitely got the higher volatility this week. I do like that. Again, we're sort of continuing every single week the dynamic of the economy reopening, and then we're also getting it from the government side, like Biden saying 200 million vaccines now. That causes yields to go up. It causes value to keep going up. Again, it's like, oh wow. Again, we know this is just that's where we are now. The economy's opening up, but it does introduce new ideas. The new idea really should again be that there's money out there that's hungry. There's money out there that everything looks like an opportunity and it's going to be spent. Equities are the spot. Equities are risk on. There's fucking literally nothing else. There's literally nothing else. If you're betting on, again, yields can go up. But how much do yields need to go up for you to go buy fucking bonds? How many of you here would actually go buy bonds? None of you. So retail's out of the question. Retail's not, you're not buying a fucking bond for your snotty nose nephew, right? You'll buy him fucking a stock if you're going to do that. Same with institutions. You're going to buy no bonds. The fuck are we? Boomer Central over here? Yeah, banks are all boomers. And then the few junior bankers that I love all the new articles talking about working 95 hours a week and work-life balance is terrible. I love how nowadays they can just go on social media and complain about that. When I was working there recently and times before that, you couldn't say a fucking thing, you'd get fired. But, different age now. complaining about 95-hour work weeks or 80-hour work weeks. Jesus. You guys have it good. That's pretty nice. I mean, at least they're still getting the food stipend. Every hour after 9 p.m., you get free food. But they're all fat. All right, very bid start. Holy moly, fuck me, right? Look at us go. Dow, 0.5%. The travel move again. You were not going to catch travel at the low yesterday. Excuse me. You weren't going to catch that at the low of yesterday, but this red trade is really funny. We'll see what happens here. Windbreakers. X, I mean, this is really straightforward. We'll see what this looks like in an hour or so. Let's see. Semiconductors are the big question mark today. Again, growth is really the big question mark. We're in semis. It's how to manage this trade is the question. Again, is this going to react to yields? I mean, what are we getting? It's you look at the tech side. We're now green, but what are we doing here? How far behind is that in relation? Small caps doing very well. Again, just buying it anywhere in here yesterday was very good. Again, again, active trading, no average trading. Not that you can't go buy the average here. That's completely fine. It's not what I mean, but I mean if you're trying to actually trade on the margin and get really a better risk reward, I can take the individual company. Okay, let's see. Hold on. So we're about 70 basis points from the all-time high on the Dow. We're already up 0.5%. And that'll be about a percent and a quarter or so away. I guess there is a chance. I mean, based on the 2% spread we did yesterday in the momentum. Okay, so how much is this? About 4. Oh no, I didn't look at this earlier. Okay. The all-time high dance is definitely going to matter. And so again, it's important to see where the flow goes. So again, what we're going to be for anything else that we do from here is definitely trying to capture the flow. It's going to be different everywhere, right? Or it's just going to be different every time. Things that are closer to all-time high are just going to have more momentum, right? And so again, those individual tickers that are involved in that sort of thing are just going to do better. Top of the list so far. We're doing very well on energy still. Retail stores. Rad's going to be a lot of fun. Yep, so mostly energy. The whole China thing, you guys can do whatever you want, but that whole thing it's reacting to prices on China today, just like coming off the bottom. You don't know if it's going to go up or down. So I mean, by close, maybe we'll see if we can make some bets on things for Monday. But I don't know if the money's going to be worth it. Even if it's going to go up 5%, I don't know if it's still worth the risk. Okay. Oh, see, I didn't even read the chat, but this is what I said. I knew everyone was waking up late. It's the nice weather. The nice weather. I almost didn't actually come over here. I had my shit ready. Uh, I was just gonna fucking peace out. Enjoy the nice weather today. I mean, it's not the greatest to start the day, but it's gonna be really nice later. Welcome. Don't tell him about red. Don't tell him. would never buy out that kind of low. Never. What are we doing over here again? I do like that so much. We'll see. EB is possible. One of those in-betweeners. Intermediary. To the stores coming up the low. Again, I posted an ass load of short-term patterns yesterday. I know that usually triggers a lot of people when they see like multiple lists of pictures coming through. I do that because no one's going to look at the fucking sheet anyway. It probably takes forever to load for some of you now anyway because there's like, I don't know, 5,000 tickers in there. um, so I take the screenshot. I know some of you are like, fuck, dude, I ain't looking at that shit. But there's probably some things that you should know in there. So also just realizing that the bullish list is pretty long. You can just be like, oh, a lot of things came off their low. I see. And realize that there's a lot of signaling to the upside. That's just one way to do it. So that might be something to keep in mind as well. You can just be like, oh, which list is longer today? Oh, okay. A lot more bullish ones? Okay. Must be better. In terms of why there wasn't many breakouts, again, just kind of the timing. Everything sort of already has made a move, or there wasn't really many breakouts. And you might be going, well, isn't there a chance you missed one? I mean, there's a fucking chance, but I look at every ticker in the market, so I highly doubt it. Okay? Guy in the chat. I mean, it's possible, of course. If it's got lower volume, I fucking definitely didn't see it. Only the ones I've been tracking. There's going to be a lot of charts this weekend, though, boys. Weekly charts are on the menu. I've got so many ideas. I might just fucking draw random lines and you won't even know. Put it on the log scale, you'll have no clue. Just to get us to buy it. Get involved. I have to take out a loan. Small loan of $1 million, like Trump says. It was only a small loan of $1 million. Not really getting take profit up here. There's already been a... Wow. It's already been 1 million... That's gonna go higher, folks. That's gonna go higher. That's going higher. MX here. I don't know. Somebody's buying something here. That's going higher, which is very strange. Gaps up almost 30% and then goes bid. What the fuck? I don't know who is buying what over there, but... Interesting. Interesting. Again, semis. Semis is all fucked up right now. FRO is blasting through the levels here. An important concept that I've been talking about all week is transportation. This transportation side of things, and now look at the fucking canal. Not that that's going to have any boost to transportation, but I mean, just think about it. Look how sensitive that market is. Actually, here's the fucking point. Yes, we trade technically, and yeah, these levels are great. Levels are great here. Too many lines on the chart, I know. But this transportation sector that I've been talking about all week and from last week, and really longer than that, obviously, because charts go back. But look how sensitive our global trade network is and distribution of anything across the globe is. It's so sensitive to everything. And look how much it actually matters. Again, a lot of equities are just about whether or not people care about it and whether it actually has some sort of value, right? and then it turns into an actual trade. Yes, we're trading it technically, but it only exists because people actually care about it and it actually matters, right? Like if you're going to make money on something, usually the thing that matters to other people is what you're going to make money on, right? If you buy something that matters and it's going to help someone else and does something else, then it's probably better, right? That's just the fucking reality of things. That's how people think about owning something, right? All of these going up, though, there's certainly an understanding that even with when you look at what's happening with the global sort of oil market, and there's a lot of other things that are being affected due to the fucking canal. It's important. It's all over the fucking media. It doesn't really affect anyone day to day. It's not going to affect anybody, like on an existing level, right? There'll be money lost, but it's like again, it's on paper money. It's not really like stores won't have to close or something. That type of thing is not going to be affected. But look how much it actually matters to people. It actually matters, and we can't stop fucking talking about it, right? For one little fucking thing, right? Not that the boat's small. It's apparently the size of the Empire State Building, just fucking laying across. But why are the boats that fucking big? Who knows? But that doesn't sound probably smart. Maybe get some smaller boats. Where's my EV boat? It's back. Oh, that's what a sailboat is, right? I saw a thread like that on Reddit. I don't know, maybe this week. Was, hey, you know what we need is EV boats. And then the comment was, yeah, that's what a sailboat is. Oh, right. That's how that works. Hey, holy moly, X is going up. Really makes you think. Hey guys, Rad is up 6%. What's going on here? I thought we went down like 100% over here. What's going on over here? Hey, stop it. Stop it. You're not supposed to gap down 20% and then go up another 20% the next day. That's illegal. That is entirely illegal. Someone's going to get prosecuted. Distribution, telling you. Now the question is, did I know that the canal was going to get blocked? Because I'm on record for saying that transportation and distribution is going to be very bullish this week and going into the future. Now all those charts are going up. Maybe I had inside information that canal was going to get fucking blocked last week. Because we were buying that shit last week. Uh-oh. Jesus. Hopefully the windbreakers don't come back over here. Hey, man. Did that canal get blocked on purpose? Why were you talking? We have you on record talking about buying up distribution and transportation stocks. Why were you doing that last week? Listen, officer. Go fuck yourself. You'll never take me alive. Dawn is the canal. I think there's a lot of... Brian says Dawn is the canal, but I think there's actually a lot better ex-girlfriend jokes, probably. It took a boat the size of the Empire State Building to get that canal stuck and fill that canal, huh? What we got here? Options are obviously, if anyone has noticed, expecting some upside. Good luck, anyone trying to buy. Jesus. So funny how premiums change. Again, this is like the phenomenon of having such low volatility in the market, and then IVs are out of their mind because then all of a sudden everyone has to reevaluate the actual volatility in the market because the spot VIX is not giving them the correct value. Again, Black-Scholes, the Black-Scholes model it does use basically the spot VIX volatility to set a baseline of volatility. Like if you're using the Black-Scholes model, like even if you do it yourself and like put it into a calculator, you need to put in a value of volatility. So what are you going to do? I mean, you can use the historical volatility on the ticker, but if you're doing it from options, well, that's all of a sudden already different. A lot of times you're coming from a baseline of the spot VIX. What happens if the spot VIX is basically fucking zero and hasn't moved? Well, then all of a sudden you have a lower volatility than the actual volatility, right? And so as soon as something changes, IV increases, because all IV is that the perceived volatility is less than the volatility now, and so IV is just the difference between that value and where volatility is expected. Premium level, and that's what the premium you pay is, right? You're just paying for the premium is literally just you're paying extra to own something because, well, it seems like it's changing. Is something changing here? Oh, price better go up. Light, we continue. Okay, so some of my ideas about these stocks is where do we have to transition some of these? Some of these are really big gains. Some of them are very big gains, and off of a week, it's going to be really important for some of you not to revenge trade and not to go, listen, this gain is good enough because it's going to cover my losses from this week. It's so important not to do that, to make decisions and make decisions just unbiasedly and not about yourself and not personally. A lot of these I'm looking at, again, I'm not looking at it because I need to make money back or something, but there is some ideas here that, oh, we haven't had as good of a week. I need to take profit on some of these. That we cannot let that force our hand on making decisions. It needs to be all about the chart. So for instance, we get rejected at the resistance here, and then it doesn't bounce on the support, I'll take profit. If it comes through here, rejects on the trend line, doesn't seem like it's going to be bouncing back this week, then I need to make a decision on timing because it's still likely to be going up. Still likely to be going up, even if it gets rejected here. It depends how much it gets rejected by. Again, if it pulls down here, maybe you let it come all the way down here. It's like 3%. Probably you can't. If it looks like it's going to be coming all the way back down, then you might need to make a decision there. So transitions, again, you don't want to be overly sensitive to try to get out of positions, even if it's a transition, just because of your week. It's so easy to do that, and I'm not going to tell anyone not to take profit when it's their time, because that's just silly. Definitely take the money home. But there's times when you don't want to be trying to guess the top, and you don't want to have some decision being made because you're down on the week or something. That's just not. It's not good practice, right? Not good practice, because now you're just making a decision because of yourself, not because of the price. Keep that in mind on some of these charts, because I'm even kind of seeing it on some, and I'm like, can't let our decisions be made like that. Your WG continues. Again, that's our pod stock. Z. Still consolidating. Again, everything's consolidating, but W are coming back through here. This has been kind of a messy, because again, the way this week went, this is a great trade. I think if you think about what you actually got here for a discount, now again, it depends on timing and everything else, but we got sort of hit by the week, sort of the average. And we lost some value on a lot of tickers that actually were heading towards the upside and breaking levels and looking very good. This kind of move here today, coming off this pivot here, is great. This is very bullish. Very bullish. Okay, we're getting moved there. This is just unnecessary. Again, the Chinese tickers are just a fucking mess right now. Absolute mess. ELY is about to break 2736, it looks. Okay. Banks looking great. TSM, UMC are like signaling upside. It's just hard to tell. Me continuing. How much is this getting hit by weeklies? Hard to say. Ryan says MRVL. The other semi coming through 45.61. Okay. Why is this so much higher over here? Or yeah, I did talk about it the other day that it's trading very much like the Nasdaq, right? Or it's getting towards that average of the growth where it actually it didn't come all the way back down. Let me see. Okay, it's just basically the same as these. And we're trying to buy at all these lows. I did buy AMD. FYI, I did buy AMD. So, and just FYI. We'll see if it breaks through here. Again, we know everything's in a consolidation. It's just whether or not this is the bottom of the consolidation or not, right? Is this the trend line on all these charts? That's the only question. Is this the bottom of the trend line? We thought this was the bottom of the trend line. We thought this was the bottom of the trend line, right? Again, it's very easy for this to continue to lower, right? But we don't know. So all we can do is just keep taking it. This was the bottom of the trend line. We took it. We gained on Monday. Then it broke down. So you didn't lose money. Here, we take the trade. Sort of 2 days in a row, we take the trade. Not specifically this chart, but just saying. And you're trying to trade it as if this is the bottom of the consolidation. And you have the trend line on the top here, and it's going to go to the upside. That's all we're trying to do, right? And again, that's not your whole portfolio. I hope not. I hope not. Let's take a look at some of the travel charts because these are really interesting. See what do we get on intraday. Yikes. Yikes. That's that looks like a few percent coming into the upside. I hate it. I hate this chart. I hate this chart so much. Ugh. Travel. You gotta love it. You have to love it. This looks like a few percent. What do we get on airlines? It's the same thing. I mean, these charts are disgusting, guys. Just absolutely terrible. Really is terrible. I mean, I don't even know what to say. This is the only chart that looks normal at all. It's the only one that actually looks normal. It's okay. I'm fine with the I'm fine with this over here. God, the other ones are so bad. This is just so bad, and you're just gonna get, like I just said, you're gonna get a few percent. You're gonna at least get a few percent there. When you look at that movement. Oh, this makes it look a little bit more. Okay, here's a better example. This is what it looks like. This is what the price looks like. Again, you can't see it very well on this, but that's what it is. That's literally all it is. Same thing. Same thing. That's all it is. Unbelievable. Don't tell them. Why? Hey, what is going on over here? Why does T all of a sudden have more volume than usual? Hey, what's going on here? This is kind of an outlier of a day over here. This is kind of an outlier of a day over here. What is going on over there? This candle does not look like anything else we've seen recently. It's really quite something, don't you think? You guys just happen to be here at this time. In this chat room. This forum. Really makes you think sometimes. And it almost, you know what it almost makes you think like? That story I told you where the guy gave out fake insider information. I have to be very careful not to say shit like that anymore because people are getting arrested left and right. So this is not fake inside information. Okay? It's not fake insider information. Nothing I do is fake insider information. Whether it's real insider information or not, I guess that part doesn't really matter because no one gets arrested for real insider information. So not since the 80s, 90s. But if it's fake insider information, well, fuck you. You're selling fake news. And this is a progressive society. This chart is so funny to look at. Look at this. What is that price action? The SPY really trying to show what I talked about with the SPY is only ever a 1 cent spread. It's only ever 1 cent, even when it's moving, right? It's only 1 cent spread. There you go. There's your, by the way, this is quite a bit, but it's more than 1 cent here, right? But for bid and ask, it's always 1 cent. If it's more than 1 cent, the market will go insane, right? Loses its mind. It's just hard to make judgment on this shit. It looks very bid, even for what's going on with yields increasing. It's just that it's just short-term money is the problem, and that's where some of the you're hesitant as an institution to go put long trades on growth, even though you want to. You're hesitant because everyone's in short-term trades and are going to take profit on it. So you don't, even though they're going to be making trades for like a year at a time, like time frame wise, they still, it seems like you probably could still wait as an institution. You could still wait to get those short-term trades out. I don't know. This is too good of a spot. I mean, there's just too much. I mean, I'm not fucking waiting. What am I? My name's not Sally. And if your name's Sally, there's nothing wrong with that. I just mean, like, I'm not a fucking Sally. I'm not going to sit here and not buy something that's pretty clear. We buy everything. We bought everything. This is so funny. It's just so funny. It's just so funny. Again, these are all risk. It's quite literally all risk. It's 50-50 trades. Take them however you like. I've obviously talked all about China and how it was going to bounce back this week. And then every single day it drove deeper and deeper into the hole, right? And that's just what fucking happened, right? We had all this tightening and then it drove deep into the fucking hole. Today, now we have it. It's like you have an idea and it could be true, but it's after a lot more losses. So is it really even a good idea anymore, right? It's like, oh, I think it's going to rebound. Okay, this is rebounding, but what about this candle and this candle that came after I said it's going to rebound? So then it turns into, is this a new idea? Is this like, is it the same idea? Or that's the kind of thing that throws everybody off. It's like, what do we do now? It's like, do we do the same mindset now that it's lower? You should, but it's hard to do that on any fucking level, right? It's just gross, right? I hate this chart. I mean, this is just terrible. It's just stupid, and yeah, I hate it. Fucking hate it. Look at this thing. What is that? What is that? There's no way. There's just no way to know if this is coming up here. There's just no way. This is the Hang Seng. There's no way to know if this is just going to be bouncing on the low. That's what we were betting on, was that this was a bounce off the low. And then you come down here in the middle of nowhere. By the way, there's nothing here. There's no reason why the price got bid right there, other than just, fuck it, let's buy right here. Not very good. Take us to all-time high, baby. Okay. Lead us, baby. More growth. Go. Go. Is Nike getting out of its hole? Okay, fucking finally. This trade, we'll see how we do here. Took this trade. I like how it's the same example of how this is down in the middle of fucking nowhere and then it got bought, but Dow trade, boys. Got my Nikes on right now. By that I mean I don't even own Nikes. Oh, I do own Nikes. Never mind. Those aren't my running shoes. Just kidding. We'll see. Probably gonna get cucked on this trade easily. Easily get cucked. Probably gonna get cucked. INTC. We're gonna see. Again, we're trading semis. INTC is a part of the Dow play. We're in INTC. Do I like Intel? I mean, I don't know. Probably not, but it isn't a good. It's so hard to look at this chart, but again, you have to kind of remove this. You have to remove this and look at it a little bit more objectively. This trend, this resistance, if it breaks this supply, it's gonna go, right? And then again, the other Dow charts just continue to climb. I mean, it's silly, right? Keeps climbing. Keep climbing. Bank's looking good. Again, Salesforce is the lagger. We're still expecting all these charts that have this sort of double bottom fashion to go, but this we'll see. Are we going to finally get some points here or what? This chart's so far behind. It's really threw everything off. IBM and HD continue their trend. IBM is the one with the IBM supply comes in at like 1. It's really where we are right now is this whole zone. Well, we're starting to come into some zones, so we'll see if we can start to break through some of these. Ooh, I like that. Looks very good. The old McDonald. Very nice pennant up there. Very nice. I mean that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good right there. See if we get the upside come through. It's tightened a little bit too much, and it's not moving with the rest. So, but it might just be demand. Demand has gone elsewhere for now. We'll see. The Dow play is doing very well, so we're on schedule. On schedule. Okay. And, oops. We're trying to work through the supply up here. Light is above the level. Looks like we're gonna go up to the trend line quickly. W is going through the supply right now as well. Red all the way back down to support. Everyone that was in this position from yesterday obviously took profit. I'm gonna get some whipsaws on this chart today, that's for sure. UMC, S-Bucks, again, all these, anything that's again, we've been talking about retail stores. And so anything that's like on the food and beverage side that has like chains like that, right? Those are bullish. I haven't really looked at the Starbucks chart, but that does fall under the category. Very nice trend here. It's a little It does fall under the category we like, right? Very much so. The sector we like. It's weird because it doesn't have the same trend line as the other charts here. You just copy this over, right? Yeah, look. However you want to. It's just this whole zone here, right? You could average these wicks. Where is can we get a better this wick right here? Let's do that. That's probably a little bit better as those connect. Let me just extend this real quick. Let me see. Okay, yeah. That's the trend line right there. That's just the market trend line anyway. That's the market trend line. I like that, yeah. Would I have bought it over here? Maybe on the pullback if I was looking at it. It is a part of the sector. Like, I think it's the volume. Yeah, it's the volume. I think. What was it? When did I look at this chart? Either way, the sector's bullish. All of them are converging to the upside. This does look very good in terms of you don't have any supply. It's all-time high like the rest of them, so looks very good. Good mention. I haven't thought about that chart. There was some reason. It's like Shaq. I think maybe it's the options. Shaq's in like the exact same spot, right? It has a little bit. It get to its high a little bit quicker over here when we were trading it, right? This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. And so it got up there quicker, so it built supply a lot sooner. But the same thing applies where these are good trades. This is exactly what we're talking about for trades. But the problem again is the options. Options are a little weird on these charts. They're just a little weird in the sense of liquidity and small caps. How much can we get here? It's fucking Friday. You could get 3% here, so. Q's not so much. Again, yields are up. It's really just fucking value. X breaking through the trend line. Keys just mentioned lows. L, same thing. Again, we're a part of HD. We're part of all the retail stores. Retail stores, they quite literally almost all look the exact fucking same. This has a much wider spread actually, so a lot more short-term volatility on its trend. Again, value. That's what values looked like for fucking months, right? Very good looking chart. That's a very tough one to trade though. It's a very tough one to trade because look at your volatility back and forth. Your options are getting killed all the way up. Every day you look at your P&L, you're up and down as you're trying to trend to the upside. That's a tough one. And that's where that level of difficulty comes in, that this chart is just so much easier to trade, right? This is just so much easier to trade. It's again, I mean, there's different ways that you can trade things, of course, but I like a little bit simpler. Not that it's never easy, but I mean, fucking reality is that we bought everything on March 5th over here, and since March 5th, this has been a lot easier. I haven't had to do anything with this trade. And that's what I mean when we talk about the Dow, is that the Dow has not moved. Yeah, I mean, it pulled back on the average, but this is the tech side, right? This is the tech side. We don't trade the average. Oh, fuck. Arc, no flows. Kathy getting Kathy'd. Kathy getting wooded. Next one, we'll see how we do here. We're in this trade. We just... all we can do is push it. There's not much we can do. Great entry on the Berkshire trade. Great entry on the Berkshire trade. What was I gonna say? Been talking about this trade since last week. The tightening that we saw here, how it's good for the upside and how you don't have any downside risk of taking this trade. So even if this happened over here, you would get stopped out. Oh well, right? You're not going to get violently moved on and you can always get out of the trade. But you have the potential of always just climbing with sort of a trend in mind and not some sort of short-term volatility all the time. And so again, you put your money in and then you don't have to really worry about it much further. This gain here almost completely there is now no risk. If you're in that position, you're up a percent here on the underlying, there is no risk now to push it through next week. The week after that. You get stopped out, you get stopped out. But now you have a very nice start here. And again, this tightening here on a chart like this, on a big value chart, that's exactly what we talk about when we're looking for the upside. That tightening, that sideways trading here off of a really what is a very nice gain and a trend coming off the take profit and consolidation. We take the trade every time, right? We've talked about it multiple days, so I don't need to go too far. Travel continues. Travel continues. Uber continues. Pretty good confirmation of buy everything. There's a mixed bag. It's pretty much a mixed bag. Heading to the upside. It's heavy on the value side, but you could have got away with buying anything. Could have got away with buying anything, which is important. And again, that was from yesterday. That's from yesterday. Not that you couldn't buy shit today. Just saying. We were talking about 2 days ago and yesterday was to buy everything, anything. Very good. Slow start to the day on like a volatility level because we're just kind of continuing to gain, which is great. You don't have to do much. Again, if you're in a position you're not going to be doing anything. I'm trying to think. Today is definitely a good day to fuck off, right? You have a nice weather out, go enjoy the weather. JJR is a good example. Like I'm gonna go outside and garden, or whatever it is you do. Today, if you're in a position, is a good day to do it because, like I was just saying earlier, some of you had a rough week. We all had a rough week. The wanting to take profit, to cover that, to have a good week because you have it right now, it's right in your hands. It's really easy to do that. If there's a reason to take profit, then absolutely do it. Never don't just keep pushing in diamond hands out of your mind. That's so stupid. Don't ever do that. But only do it if your chart is signaling to take profit, right? Through one of our rules or through some reason. Don't do it because, oh, well, this will put me up. This will put me up on the week if I take profit. That makes me happy. No, don't do it because of that reason. Do it for all the other good reasons, right? So today, there's really not going to be much to take profit on. You don't get to guess the top. You don't get to guess like the top of the move that you're in, whether it's going to continue next week or not. You don't know. Nobody knows. It's signaling to the upside though. You bought something yesterday. Anything you bought yesterday is definitely signaling upside. All of them. There's no chart that's not, right? There's literally no chart that's not. So today might be a good day. When I talk about not looking at anything during lunch, today's definitely a day not to look at anything during lunch. Trust in your stops that you have. If you don't have a stop, put a stop in right now. You don't want to put it in at your entry place and you want to put it a little higher because you're in the money. That's fine. I don't like to move my stops. I place my stop as soon as I place a trade. Stops are in at my entry point. That's just how I do it. And again, that's on the options. That's not like the underlying. That's on the option price. Because again, it will change quick. Those things will change quick. But today, are you going to be buying things at close? Again, why are you buying shit at close if you didn't buy anything yesterday and you didn't buy anything at open today? That's where I can be critical and be like, that's not a good way to trade. You're just buying after you have, oh, now that it's up 20%, now I feel comfortable buying. Now I know it's going up. No, that's not good. So you shouldn't be doing that. Right. So that's how I'll be critical, of course, but you're not going to be doing anything at close. You're not going to be doing anything at lunch. This is a great day to just do something else, honestly, so that you don't affect yourself. You don't affect your trade. That's what I would say. I'm not going to hang around until lunch. Maybe I'll be here for close. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of want to just go do something today. I'll probably be here because I do have some things I have to do. But for the rest of you, and that's what's nice about doing this for your job. Kind of, I'm in position. I don't need to do anything. Imagine being a junior banker working 95 hours a week, making minimum wage, but you make 6 figures a year. How many hours a day I work? Except I do work a lot, but how many hours a day I trade? Like 4 hours. It's only 4 hours of actual work, like trading. Obviously, most of my time is spent trying to find the goddamn trades when the market's not open. But still, really makes you think. I mean, not to like shit on anyone that does work that many hours still. Gushing. McKeesus says, market close next Friday. Let me tell you about this really great service called Google. If you Google market holidays, they will tell you that next Friday is Good Friday, April 2nd, the day after April Fool's, and the market is closed on Friday. And I'm guessing McKeesus already Googled that, and he's just letting us know. So thank you for reminding us. Thank you for the reminder. Hell yeah. Good content. Yeah, market is closed next Friday. Next Friday. That's all markets, not just bond market. Well, buy everything. How exactly is this moving here? What are people thinking? They must be thinking the same thing. Banks is interesting as well, doing this tightening. All the tightening is leading to upside. That's just what's happening. All heading to the upside. BBX continues as well. Let's go. Coming today. Let's see. What is this here? If I buy a Tesla, if I buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, do I pay less in tax? Because, so for instance, if I take profit on my Bitcoin, right, I have to pay tax on that. If I buy a Tesla with it, is it the same or less that you would pay in taxes? That's my question right now. I'm gonna send an email. There's a few different loopholes. I mean, you have to pay tax on Bitcoin just like you would on stock now. But there was a loophole before where you could put it into this fucking thing. It's gone now. It was only in 2020. Gone now. But it was through spending it. Through spending it, you didn't pay the same tax on it. You can do the same deduction thing as always of donating it, and you'll get a deduction. What I'm wondering is what exactly is the method for getting taxed on it if I'm buying something with it, like a fucking Tesla. I'm gonna pay sales tax, but I'm not technically taking profit on the Bitcoin. I'm just exchanging it. I'm gifting it. Are they liable now for it? Are they liable for the tax instead of myself? That's what I want to fucking know. How many Teslas can I buy? I could buy like buy quite a few buy quite a few Teslas. Buy quite a few Teslas and then sell the Teslas. Makiza says, how many? I put 10% of my portfolio in Bitcoin in before the summer of last year. My average is just over 9,000. I put 10% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. Just over 9,000. I'm up about 600%. You will never get specifics. Never. Not anymore. Not anymore. I want to get fucking robbed. But I'm curious that there's so many weird things that are going on. What the fuck is the point of, like, there's so many strange things. You just go buy a bunch of Teslas with Bitcoin and then it's like, oh yeah, I don't have Bitcoin. What are you talking about? I don't need to pay tax on that. I don't own any. What do you mean? Technically the IRS doesn't know you own Bitcoin until you sell it. Like, that's it. There's actually there's no function. The fucking Coinbase isn't sending out tax forms and shit. You can go fucking send Daddy Elon a couple Bitcoins. Not right now. I'm just wondering when the time comes. It's gonna be a tax bill I'm not looking forward to. At least I'll get capital, be capital gains. Won't be the short term half, which is nice. That's the nice part of owning Bitcoin for over a year. Don't have to pay the short term. Now that we're done with taxes, you can complain about taxes again. Not that I don't want to support my fellow countrymen. Know what I mean? Some of you going, wait a second, I have to pay tax on my bitcoins? Yeah, you do. Some of you going, wait a second. I traded Bitcoin and I didn't pay tax on it. And I already filed my taxes. What does that mean? That means you're probably going to get fucked. Is what that means. Unless it was under like 10K, then you're a nobody. But that's exactly who the IRS goes for. IRS doesn't go for people like me, they go for people like you. You didn't pay $100, we're going to spend $10,000 to find you and get that $100 back. IRS is the perfect institution. They will fucking find you and get that money. They'll spend more money than they'll get back, but they'll fucking find you because they want the next tax. Billionaires? Fuck them. Who cares? They're hiding 1/5 of their wealth? Who cares? Who cares? 1/5? They came up with the number. How many billions was that number? It was fucking billions and billions a year that doesn't get paid in taxes. New York Times did a piece on from like the top 0.01% or whatever. Yeah, and the McKinsey's like, I make one mistake and boom, yeah, IRS is fucking showing up. Whole team of them. And then, yeah, big tax boys, fuck them. They already pay so much in taxes anyway, fuck it. And let them keep 1/5 of it. America. Dow just keeps going, boys. We're about to hit the 69 basis points move. We're at 68. Give me the 69. I want to say nice. Oh, here it is. Nice. Nice. My emoji. There it is. Nice. Nice. 69. Nah. Scary out there for sure. Yeah, I'm the IRS just trying to cuck people. Some of the people in the chat that wanted to give some of the money and like have it traded in a fund, gonna convince everyone to give me a few $1,000s for the fund and then keep it. Be like, listen, fuckers, I am the IRS. You owe taxes. Like, yeah, you want to give like $5,000? Okay, yeah, we'll trade that. Be like, gotcha. I'm the fucking government body of this goddamn country, and you owe money, and we're keeping it. I don't think so. Yeah, you guys, Cosa Nostra is allowed to make a trade. You guys got $4,000. You guys have 4,000. 4,000 available. Nothing like buying at the top, am I right? Cosa Nostra just doing their thing. Buying at the top. You know, it really looks shitty out right now. Where is the sun? Let me see. Sun is coming out at 1. Okay. 1 p.m. Now it's going to be windy. Fuck me. Ford and GM were definitely the EV buys. Those are nice. Let's see. What do we got here? Have anything fun? Anything fun? I don't really have any more risk I can put on. But I kind of want to make a fun trade. A fun trade for the weekend. What's at the bottom? No. 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 Hey, Don, can I buy Viacom over here? That's why we didn't buy it. That's why we didn't buy it. But this would be fun. I'd probably take the Discovery trade over it, though. This is in support. Let me see. Where exactly is this? This is past that level. Maybe. Okay, we're going to have some fun. Let's just have a little bit of fun. I don't really have much risk I can afford, so I won't put too much. Just a fun little trade. Maybe I'll do it with the Costa Nostra account. Let me open up that account. Here, we're gonna make some fun bets on Viacom and Discovery and the Costa Nostra account. It won't go into year 4,000, but who gives a fuck? My money anyway. I'm gonna do it in that account because I don't want it to affect my number for making a dumb trade. You get this on the right screen here. You get this on the right screen. This account is... Okay, what contract should we buy for Viacom and Discovery? VIAC, DISCA. Throw out some numbers. Somebody give me something. It can be... Maybe we should do... Let's see. The obvious first answer is April monthlies. April monthlies. But then the question is, what exactly is the best? If this is a dumb trade, this is an absolutely stupid trade, but what would be the best strike here is the question. The at the money here is probably not the best trade because no one's expecting it to be right here. At the money contracts are very good if that's where a level is, and that's where there's like an expectation that price could go up or down. Right now, that's not what's happening. You're not in a spot where, oh yeah, this is healthy price movement. This is where we are. No, we just got down here. You know, this is not like you can buy at the money. So probably need something else. Maybe a 69er if that existed, but it, you know, we unfortunately do not have the ability to do such things. I'm just kidding. I think the 69 is the way to go. 69er? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's see. 69. How much is 69? 69 is about 16% out of the money. That's absolutely terrible. I love it. Absolutely terrible. It doesn't get much worse than that. Okay. Good luck. Good luck, trader. Put me in. Nope, we don't need to stop on this one. Okay. We're going to buy 5 of them. Fiver. We're buying 5 Viacom 69 April monthlies. That's going to be the fun bet. Because right now's the moment. Look at that tightening. Look at that. Let me in there. You actually can't get filled. Somebody sell me them. Those of you that don't listen, this might be your opportunity, honestly. Do you really think that Viacom is going to go to 69 by fucking April monthly date? That's 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Do you think that Viacom is really going to go to 69 in 3 weeks? If you don't think so, that's about a 1% chance or something, then go sell me right now 5 Viacom 69s. Go do it right now. You get 5. It's about I'm buying 5 of them. Go sell 5 Viacom 69 April monthlies. I will buy them from you. Market price. If you know you don't expect it to. And if you do, and if you're not willing to do that, then are you a buyer or are you just like, nah, I can't touch that. That's just gross. 69. I'm buying 69. The nice trade. I'm gonna call this one the nice one. You're buying along with me? Great. Can I not buy any of these because you guys are buying them? Is that what's happening? You guys are ridiculous. You guys don't buy the good shit, but you'll buy the dumb shit. What's going on here? I don't understand. Either way. My other trades are looking weird too here. Viacom, take me down, country road. I'm gonna get filled on the bid. By the afternoon, we are going down. It's lunchtime. I'd like a drop of liquidity market makers. Jesus says us doing it as a courtesy. Very courteous of you, my friend. Thank you. Very nice. These transportation companies. Goddamn Suez Canal. Play, we continue. Oof. Frosty. You're in transportation. Okay. Okay, hold on. FRO. We're through? Where are we going? Where are we going? I didn't really look at... It's such a mess over here. But maybe 825. FRO is very good. DENATI. Light. Waiting. MFGP, we continue. This is a very good trade. Domo, not good. KBR continue. Banks obviously coming back again. Here's that small cap move, right? What I was talking about. All those small cap regional banks. These moves here in relation to the, when you look at the Russell 2000, it's so much easier to see this like engulfing move here, right? That's what all this is, but it's just not as violent, right? It's not as violent. France is AMD. I would definitely like to get, I think, need to get a few more points out of this, at least today, because pushing this over the weekend is kind of the risk involved, right? The risk involved is not great. Oops. What am I doing here? There we go. Discovery keeps going down. Get halted, apparently. C Trader says. Good thing we didn't buy this one. Maybe now we should. Should we buy it off the halt? Oh, we got filled. Hey, good job. We got filled on 4 of the 5. Probably not good, right? Probably not a good time to get filled over here. Take me down. But we do it for the memes, boys. We do it for the memes. Ooh, the 5 only cost $800. Pretty cheap. Cost $800 for 5 contracts over here for 69. Those are going to be worth a lot. I'm making NFT out of that trade. I see in here. Nothing exciting there. Okay. Okay. Waiting for that level to break. Same here. PGI through the trend line. Talked a lot about this trade yesterday. How, again, we're buying everything. We're buying supports. This trade turns out very nice today, confirming again. And you just don't have, it doesn't, you're not in a position now where it's like, fuck, how do I keep trading this? You can, so many things could happen and you don't care. Short-term volatility doesn't matter once you're in the money. Just who cares? All right, I better screenshot this for fucking proof. No. Screenshot. Where'd it go? Boom. Francis Tiva. Tiva, obviously one of our fun charts. Mm, we've been here before, and look at it's so nice to look at this chart with all the lines on it, right? Ooh. But I can tell you, there's a line right there. I can still see the lines. Interesting spot. If only GME contracts didn't cost hundreds of dollars, and I mean the actual premiums, hundreds of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm just not going to pay $10,000 for a contract that's 30% out of the money. Just, I'm not going to do it. The contract expires in 3 weeks and it's 40% out of the money. Yeah, it's going to cost you 10 grand. It's actually more than that, but that actually is way more than that. But the weekly maybe is that. I like that right there. PayPal, Square Inc, obviously bullish on. Square Inc is right at the level. I'm still waiting for that. I thought earlier we were getting it. These are, again, you just need to trade it with the mindset of, okay, we're at the low end of the range here. Take it. When you buy everything, you buy everything. Like, think of this move here. Look at this trend line in here. Trend line down here. You're tightening. What are we going to break down here and go to zero? No. If we do, then, oh well. we're gonna be going down for a while. Bear market it is. It's like the ARK bear market, right? ARK's in a bear market. Are we doing this on all these other tickers? I don't think so. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Yeah, you know what I just did. We get the Viacom trade. We gotta get the Discovery too. We gotta get the Discovery in there too. Come on. It's every good trade needs a complementary trade. Hedged out of my mind through diversification. Diversified out of my mind with Viacom and Discovery. Right there. Bottom ticked. Gonna get filled. Let me in. Discovery. We're buying 60s April monthlies. 60s not as bad over here. Oh, it's way worse. Oh, just kidding. It's way worse. Oh, wow, my math is way off. Jesus. Holy shit. That's terrible. Hold on. We can't do that. That's terrible. There, switch it. That's just terrible. Okay. There you go. Complementary trade. Oh, fuck, we got filled anyway. Jesus Christ. Well. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, okay, good job, guys. Good job. It goes down in the DM. What the fuck? Nice one. Nice. Nice. Where are we at? Where are we at? I like the movement on the Nasdaq at least. It's fun, fresh. Fun and fresh. Okay. How are meme stocks playing out today? No one's really trading them. Hot stocks continue to trend upside. A little bit of volatility. Things like BA here. I kind of like the short-term volatility on some of these. Like since we're up from yesterday. Some of this is good. Brings in new players. Not a fan of the break there. On X, how are we doing on the trend line? Bounced off the trend line. We'll see how this goes because again we're coming towards lunch, losing some volume. Down at DM. Okay. Yeah. How are we doing on? Yeah. So I was just gonna say, how are we doing with some of this side of things? Run looks very good, but this is on its own. It's doing its own thing over here. Things like Sun Power. It's just doing the semi move still. Excuse me. It's still just doing the semi move. This LR looks a lot better. I do like this trade much better. Probably do better overall. Just so much supply on these charts. So strange. It's got to be because of how much we gain so quickly. I don't think anyone knows how to figure these charts out and what the value is. That's the problem. You know there's a ton of spending coming, government spending, but you don't know who's getting it. And that can be a problem, and sometimes investors don't want to be They don't want to buy something unless they know who's getting it. And obviously, we don't just don't fucking know yet. Otherwise, we would see movement. If we if somebody knew who was going to be getting government contracts for clean energy, those would already be moving, and we would be able to see that on a technical level, right? So, for instance, if we don't need to know, like, so for instance, someone would know the inside information of, okay, one of these companies is going to get government spending for clean energy contracts, right? Someone would know that, and they would be buying. We wouldn't know that, but we would see it in the chart. The chart would quite literally tell us that there's a trend and a breakout, and that there's something going on there. We don't need to know what it is. All we know is that the price is going up in a certain way that signals to us to be involved. We're not seeing it on any chart, which just means that there's uncertainty. All of this is uncertainty. Just full on uncertainty. That's what this consolidation is. Sometimes consolidations are because of big price movements, and you get a consolidation. For instance, this would be a consolidation here because of very large gain, right? I know there's a lot of lines, but you had a big trend, and then you consolidate, tighten, and then break back out. This was not uncertainty. This was just price being healthy and consolidating. Very easy to see. Over here, there's nothing easy to see. And I don't mean easy to trade. I just mean easy to actually look at the candles and be like, oh yeah, this is just uncertainty. No one knows exactly what's going on. Price is getting tighter. It's going to need to make a move, but same thing applies. It's like no one's really getting involved. We'll have to see if they do get involved. But so the clean energy side is definitely kind of strange, especially when you look at the EV side of things. You're getting we get like on intermediaries here. Blink, Plug, some of the old favorites. See, like Plug, even same thing, right? I think like two of you mentioned it over here yesterday. Somebody said something. Same thing applies. It's like you don't know. It just keeps going down. The thing to note here on this chart, though, that I might warm up for an idea is that it's tightening. It's consolidating in a kind of whatever way you want to call it. If we think about it like this, and now you can average this further here and go to the body of these candles within. So if you do something like this, which is probably, we're going to probably do that. Think about it like this. If we think about it, and again, you can turn this down here, tighten a little bit more if you want, tighten a little bit more, but I'm just going to go with where the majority of everything is. Call it like right in here. All of these wicks in here, right down. It's close enough. If we think about it like this, right? Then, not that this trend line really matters, but it could matter. Price could come back down here, right? And it could just keep tightening. But, you think about it like this, that price is, I mean, however you draw this trend line, the price is tightening. It was broad, right? And so if you did draw the trend line like this, the price was broad, right? Price was broad, and now it's getting tighter. That's consolidation leading to some sort of move. It's just how close and how far, it's not very easy to tell. If it's like this, then this is breaking out at a very nice time, which it definitely could. What if we extend this? Not exactly. Okay, that's cute. What was this day? March. Oh, this is March 5th. And those are converging trend lines, and price went right to it. Oh, that's the trend line. Okay. Okay, let's see. Can we get a better trend line here? This is probably the best trend line. Maybe this trend line here matters. Okay, this is too much though. Too much. Too much. This would start. Oh, Bing. 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 Bang. bong, bing. Just tightening though. Okay. Hmm. And then we know that this is coming through here. Is this like a false breakout over here? Came back in, traded on it. And we're on support here. Fuck me. Okay. I think we're gonna buy it. Buy a little bit of plug. Gonna have to give it some time. But I think preemptively, the tightening idea is true. Down here, you couldn't. There's just been no chances. Like I talked about, like I think coming down here, no. Down here, no. It did keep coming lower. This tightening candle here, though, that's a very different candle. And it's on a support and within a trend, prior trend. And you're right at the point at which, if this is the last sort of pivot off the low, leading to a break of this trend, then that would be the most ideal spot. So we can take this trade for just the fact that this would be the best risk reward point for a move to the upside. If it doesn't go, then it doesn't go and we won't take the trade from there. But in terms of where this would break out, this would put the most points on from this move because it's at the tightest point. And we're risk on in the market, and none of the rest. The thing is that none of these tickers make any sense. None of them like make sense on like the way in which the price is working, right? If there's any value in or anything, any chances of clean energy and all these things doing well, and these like all the semi things going on, and all the different things that make up the different components of that, they're all having a tough time, but we expect all of them to go, then this is the same fucking mentality, just with extra volatility, which if this is the low, that volatility is going to do nothing but fucking pay us. So fucking pay me. Or I'll get stopped down, whatever. We just went from minus 1,200 on that. By the way, I only spent $2,000 on those trades for the Cosa Nostra. It's not really the Cosa Nostra account, but I was doing it in there for the fun, so I can share it with you. Spent 2,000 on that, and we went down to minus 1,500, and now it's back to break even in quite literally 5 seconds. It was minus 1,500, and now it's at zero. That's how bad that fucking trade is. So, yeah. Everybody wondering how solid of a trade that was. Well, we went from basically zero, negative zero, to now positive zero, if that makes any sense. Break even zero. Lose it all for the chance of winning it all. Am I right? Yeah. Should have done that analysis earlier, but it's okay. Not much going on here. How are we doing on the big boys? A lot of tightening. Let me see over here. Microsoft doing better. Google's still the one I'm worried about if it breaks down. Facebook, we're back. Back to the level. Very nice tightening intraday. Wow. Really nice movement. Nice to have volatility. Tesla looks bearish. Look good. Terrible. Terrible. Going here. Still not moving here. It's fine. That's fine. Next, we're now at 9%. So industrials are likely going higher still. Again, talked about at the beginning of this week. Industrials where we're looking for to be the more bullish sector. So what do you know? Look what we're finishing the week with. Our bullish sector. Bullish sector. All of the industrial, all of the government spending kind of things, and holy shit. And then Biden came out and said he's going to spend $3 trillion. Holy moly. Amazing how that works out. Yeah, I think the industrial side of thing is going to be bullish, and then Biden confirms it with the $3 trillion spending infrastructure plan. You've got to love it. You have to love it. Just valued out of my mind. God, they're so much better. The value charts, Jesus. Just not even close. I don't know why I'm spending so much energy trying to get the bottom of growth. Keep fucking. You just buy value and go to bed. But never look at it again. So much more relaxing. Not as fun. But goddamn, is it easier not to have to do anything all day? Just buy tea. I don't know exactly. You're never gonna have to look at this trade again. The best part about this trade is I'll never have to look at it. I'm never gonna look at it again. I'm quite literally never gonna look at this again. I'm done. I put my trade in. I'm done. That's it. There's literally nothing else you have to do anymore. Never have to go, oh, I wonder if it's gonna move like down here. Do I need to take profit? I don't care. Doesn't matter. It's barely gonna fucking move. It's barely gonna do anything. There's literally the worst thing that could happen would almost be better for the options because you need some volatility because there's no volatility in this goddamn chart. The worst thing that could happen would probably pay you. What is actually going on here? Because I don't understand what I'm looking at. Did we bottom tick this? Did we bottom tick this over here? Holy moly. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold the phone. Unbelievable stuff. truly remarkable. If I make money on this trade, then what do we even trade for? And those of you that took this dumb trade too, because you just want to have fun, money doesn't matter. What do we even trade for? What are we trying so hard for? If you can just make dumbass trades like buying Viacom, how far off of its low? 45% off of its high 4 days later. After it drops 44%, we buy it on a fucking Friday for the weekend. What are we doing? What are we fuck trading for if you can just go buy something that drops 44% in a week? And we just buy at the very bottom before it even came back. Discovery. 45% from its high. In 1 week it drops. And we buy at the bottom while it's going straight down. And it got halted. What are we even trading for? What are we fucking doing analysis for if you can literally just buy that shit and make money from it? What's the fucking point? Literally. There's no point. If that's... It's so dumb. God, I hate it. And this is why people get caught trying to do this shit, and then they never do it right. And then they just keep losing money and money because they just keep trying to do shit like this. Guys, this is a meme. It's a joke. Just having fun. But there are people that this is all they do. They just try to buy dumb shit, play off of news and halts, and do dumb shit like this all the time. This is the trade that I don't understand as much. We took this trade, right? Got the move, and then Tuesday, it started to sell with the rest of the market, gets stopped out. I'm surprised how much it moved. Again, this whole sector came down. The whole sector came down together, but I'm surprised how much Roku got tied to that sector. It's this chart, I mean, it's obviously gotten very much tied into the growth side, and I think it's wise to accept that this was all growth movement. There was nothing value oriented about any of this move, right? It was all growth. And so very much it got tied into growth here. I'm very surprised though that it got this tied into sort of the communications and everything sector as soon as all those others came down, because growth is not doing this right now. Growth is not getting fucked like this. So all of a sudden it turned from growth, right, all growth, into now this other sector, which it hadn't done before. Very confusing. Very confusing. Mickey says, so I shouldn't have bought those Viacom 69s. I mean, I bought them. Looks like we bought the bottom. But how do you know that's the bottom? You could have bought over here. That was the bottom, right? At the moment, it was the bottom. Over here, what about this one? Oh man, it wasn't the bottom. I'm just kidding. The reality is, guys, it's not a 50-50 trade. It's about a 10% trade. You have a 10% chance of even just getting out alive on that trade. Like trying to find a way to take profit at any point since you bought it. You get like 5% chance to get out of that position green. Try to take profit on it right now. Good luck. Good luck. Some will say, so why did you do it? Why do you do what you do? Why do you do all those things that are bad for you? Huh? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, came back to the open here. Open. Holding value, though. Holding value off of the, again, pre-market action. dictating everything here. We're right back to where we opened, but that's green because we opened higher. Right? That's all we want. That's why we bought everything yesterday. The other thing that's changed, of course, are some of the value side industrial moves. Transportation has continued to move. Mostly value has moved. Meme stocks haven't, they've kind of just, they're just trading with the market. Light is coming off that level again, but we didn't see the movement last time. Don't see why we would see it this time. See, I'm gonna get filled right there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. This is gonna be cute. This is gonna be cute. That is 12%. Somebody bought down here at almost 30. That's, I mean, talk about preemptive buying. That's how you lose money. But they're making money this time, so they'll probably do it again. Is that? Oh yeah, AMC. AMC down. All right, we watch the action. We watch the action. Not much trading going on right now. It's a nice day out. People don't want to trade when it's nice out. They probably. I went and got went and had some Mexican food last night. Had some margs, some tacos. It's beautiful out. You know everyone's gonna be slower today. Ice out. Got better things to do, man. Already in position. Enjoy the sun, the drinks. Everyone that's working remotely that has a dog, the dog's barking, wants to go outside, play. So they're not trading. The dog's obviously not trading. I mean, there are some that are trading dogs, obviously, still. I haven't really called the ticker a dog in a while, though, so I don't really know what's the dog. Growth has been the dog, but we're trying to wag the tail. Again, lunchtime, don't let it hurt you. Don't let it throw you off. That doesn't mean you can't take profit. But we should be able to push everything. We should be able to push everything, and you should. You want to. You don't have to take profit to have that money to, like those of you that want to do something this weekend, you're like, maybe I'll take like $1,000 out of my account so I can go have a nice little vacation over the weekend. Let me tell you about this great thing you can do. If you have Interactive Brokers, you can apply for an Interactive Brokers card, which it is a debit card, but it acts like a credit card. You are able to charge against your account, even if you're in position. So guess what? Those Discovery and Viacom dumbass positions you just picked up, if they're worth $1,000, you can actually So if they close at being worth $1,000 market value, then you can over the weekend go charge $1,000 on that card against your position. And even better, if you do have cash in your account, then there you go. It acts as a debit to that cash. There you go, trader. You don't even need to make bad decisions to be able to make good decisions of spending for your own, pleasure, which maybe is not a good decision, but just the decision you wanted to make, spending. Spend it against this account, right? That's what I've been doing. Exclusively. I always talk about bringing it home. Use the money. If you just keep reinvesting it, you're not going to ever really use it, spend it. Ever since just using my IB card, I actually it's just better. It's just better. I don't just like keep re-looping the money in and then putting, as soon as I get too much cash, I put it back into Bitcoin or something, and then I never get to use it. You'll spend more, but fuck it. Let's see what we get for a bounce here. We're going to get on the support or what? Turn this green. We're right on it. Right on it. Looks like a pretty good comp. Looks like it. Holding it. Holding. How are we doing over here? Get stopped out. I don't think that's going to happen. I guess it's possible. Those of you that are in some of these positions that you're like trying to preempt, you're like trying to buy the lows of some of the growth tickers, right? If you get stopped out during lunch, then that would be an example of, if you still want that trade, then you're going to have to enter it close, right? So some of these, what I might do, because I don't really want to sit here, have your stop in, and then go put your limit buy below the stop. Put your limit buy down near the end of the level, right? So for instance, where is it? Okay. So for instance, or what I was going to say, this is not a good example. This is actually a bad example. This is only mean with the options, it's a different story. So for instance, let's say this was your entry. Let's say this was your entry. Then you get stopped out right there at your entry point on your options. And then go put a limit buy down here. So you get stopped out, and then if price comes down here, then you buy it down here. And you're good. It's pushed over the weekend, you get filled while you're not even at your computer. Good. You get stopped out when you're not here, you get filled when you're not here. The thing is, though, on this trade, my entry's down here. 75.5. So if I'm gonna buy down here, then I'll just let price go, and I'll just have to lower my stop. Again, I always say don't move your stop, but this would be an example of, due to circumstances, it depends. So I'll just lower my stop down to the lower end, maybe put it at 70. Again, this is based on the options, so the option chart looks like this still as well. Put it down here. Put it to the lower end over here is what I'll do. Unless the option chart that you're trading, again, has like this spread between these two is like 20% or something, well then of course get stopped out here and fill down there. I'm talking about like on the underlying and on charts that are not multiple percents worth difference between the stop and the limit buy. So for instance, if this is where you'd want to buy, but it's only like a percent away from the stop, then don't do that because you're not going to get filled correctly. If it's like 10%, absolutely. Get stopped out and then go buy 10% lower. Absolutely. You guys know what I'm fucking talking about. Want to be in the trade, but don't want to lose a shit ton of points to stay in the trade. I'll average down to the lowest point possible. It's not like the price is just gonna like stop randomly, right? You're in the trade. You're expecting it to continue the upside right here. You're not expecting it to come down here, come down to your spot. But if it did, then oh well. Get stopped, buy lower. That would be something. And then those of you that are here, then it doesn't matter. You can just watch it, get out of it, buy back in. I do like the price action so far today. A little bit of short-term vol going into the weekend. You can set up a really fun close, depending on if there's volume. Melt up lunch, likely. Continues. Because again, this is just short-term volatility, right? You're still trending up. Still trending up, and it's just short-term volatility back and forth. But again, that's gonna happen, right? That will happen. Only ever really straight up when it's market makers buying the underlying or something, right? Institutions putting periodic trades in, going long. You're never really, other than that, and that's how we know it's not. That's how we know it's not normal price action, is when the chart is literally just fucking one line of pricing. That's not how price works, right? That's when you know there's some difference. Who's come down here? What is that going to look like on Apple? Apple's another one where we're already at that point of I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna keep doing it at least through this week into next week. So I will be putting these trades on. I will be doing it. It's not that it goes against the value play, right? It really does not go against the value play. It's just betting on equities. That's it. Betting on equities. So we do it again. The third time's the charm, boys. And again, this should not be your whole portfolio. Trying to buy tech at a low. That should not be your portfolio. That should not be your strategy. Wonder if you see this at close or not. The bank move, or they wait until Monday. Or they probably do after hours. If there's going to be any bank action between each other, they probably wait for after hours, which is silly, but so maybe right into the very end of close, into after hours is where you're going to see the orders here. That's what my bet would be on. Based on what we saw so far, there's no institution here. So, as in the banks themselves, you can always tell when it's the banks themselves because they place trades the same way every time. Again, I'm talking about the book where you can clearly tell. Or if the order doesn't go through the book and it comes through some other fucking form, then okay, well, those orders just came out of somewhere. So banks, if there's any sort of buybacks or there's any sort of thing that they're planning on doing with their prices to, again, continue to inflate their prices, then it would happen towards close, the very end of close. I'm surprised we do not have any preemptive action. Obviously, we got some pre-market, which would have been them. They would have pushed this price up a little bit, but there was also some news. I would have to assume there is going to be some preemptive moves going into close of banks getting bought because of what I'm talking about right now. We're already in the trade. If you're not in the trade, you can still make the trade. It's not out of the bounds, and that's why people will keep buying it here. I am surprised that you don't have more there. Might be just, again, lower volume, so you don't see it. You may just not see it. That's all. It might just be that there is a scenario where there's no one selling besides market makers. And so if no one's exiting long positions, and again, that's what I mean when I say there's no one exiting long positions, the selling is just coming from market makers, filling liquidity. who are not long holders. They're just liquidity providers. And so all the buying could be having a really tight spread. Even though there's like the same amount of demand, price may not be moving intraday because it's just getting filled with market makers at a tight spread. That's possible. That does happen. If there's enough supply there to fill, then the price won't move, even though there's the same amount of buying, or maybe even elevated buying. That can happen. Can happen. I am surprised it doesn't look more like this, but it is early. It is early. We'll see if the melt comes through there. I would expect it on a day like today. Energy's a little wonky. Same thing applies though. V was getting out of its hole. We'll see. It looks better than the rest of the market. The market moving, coming back down. Nice. Transportation, boys. Unbelievable. So funny how things work. So funny how things work. That through the trend line, I did not expect. Not in that fashion. We are getting paid on the transports, boys. Very strange week. Again, you gotta just kind of go with it. You have to just go with it. It's a little unfortunate because it kind of sucks to buy something and then have something else affect things, even though they have really nothing to do with it. But it does. I mean, it's not like, oh man, it sucks to make money because of some like silly idea, but it does feel like it changes things, that things were happening for like a reason you thought, and then something else happens and all of a sudden that adds to it. And so then it's like, well, how much is it because of what I thought, or how much is of it just because some random event, some tail risk? Hard to tell. They're all climbing together, which is sector convergence. But there's obviously a lot of reasons why it could be getting affected by the goddamn Suez Canal. Let's see how far we go. How far we go. All right, let's we're coming into some pretty low volume. Looks like the melt is getting started in some areas. Whether it does or not, we'll see. We don't really need to be here to react to it. There's nothing really that we need to do. You've already been in positions. If you just woke up, you're trying to buy stuff, I mean, now's a decent enough time, I guess. It doesn't really matter. The timing doesn't really matter. You're just buying in, you're buying in an area of short-term volatility. And so again, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you're going to be pushing a position further on anyway, and that's the plan. You may get stopped out of it a few times, but that can't stop you from the plan and what you're trying to do anyway. We've had some fun trades today so far. It looks like we have bottom ticked Discovery and Viacom so far. Why? How? I don't have the answers. We just decided to do it for a meme, and we're up. How much are we up? We're up $650 on. So, we're up. We're up a pretty good amount. We're up almost 50%. Just kidding. That's like 25%, 30%. But so there's been some fun stuff, but otherwise bad decision. Just a meme, right? Just a meme. Otherwise, our value positions are doing great. Value's looking great. Healthcare continues to look good. Industrial's looking awesome. Transportation, all going up. Very good trades. Banks, great moves so far from yesterday into today. Continuing. Everything just green. Everyone having a great time. Which, again, it doesn't matter if it's green or red. But it's the confirmation part about the trades that we are making that, of course, that you look for. So we're getting them. We buy everything, and the market is going up in conjunction with it. That definitely is a good sign that we're on the right side. Again, we've had a rough week so far with the buy side it's been short. We had a lot of short-term volatility that we don't get to see in really this VIX or anything. And so we're just trying to, we're just trying to get in and push it for the next leg. We bought everything at almost the low. It's not perfect. Definitely travel wasn't perfect. Travel was not perfect. No one's going to be perfect there. There will be hindsight capital will say, oh, duh, told you. Good stuff. Great. Going to have better margins than you still. So it feels good in that sense, right? We'll celebrate good trades. I think we have the right idea. I think also the idea here of not overmanaging your trades can be important. If you want to take profit because you don't know, then no one's going to criticize you for that. Absolutely not. Profit's a good thing. Just understand where you can push things based on risk and reward. In a lot of areas, we have a lot of room to push things, right? A lot of room to push things. In terms of growth trades, you haven't even started the trade yet. So again, there's nothing we can even do here. All you can do is push this trade. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're in any of those trades. You have to just push that trade further. We have to see what we can get out of it, right? We don't know what we're going to get out of it yet. So you have to push it. Otherwise, big trades, if you've got a lot of points very quickly, that's the time when you're looking to transition. Okay, let me take profit on just at least some of it, right? If you got 100% in a fucking day on a trade, then you obviously placed a risky trade, which means you probably need to be sensitive and take some profit on that, right? These kind of things are just common sense things. So I'm not talking about those. And again, no one's going to criticize you for doing so. We're just trying to push our winnings where we can and minimize our lows with stops. And we're going to keep getting stopped out and buying when we can, of course. So very good day so far. Everything lining up for upside and the risk on idea. So let's see. Let's see if we get that. We'll react accordingly. But everything heading towards all-time high again. And I'll leave you with this one note again. We are right up against the all-time high in the market once again. The Dow, maybe I shouldn't use the ETF because the ETF's further away. Dow under 1% from its all-time high. Under 1% from the all-time. S&P. Go to SPX so that we can see the number. S&P 1% away from its all-time high, right? You're right there. You're right up against it. Like I said over here, it always feels this way that the market's going to come down, but look where we are, right? You're right at the all-time high. Let that continue to guide you and not be worried about your trades that you're in or anything, and go enjoy your fucking day. Don't sit here, watch charts on 1 minute candles and sit here and as soon as this doesn't keep going up and you losing your mind, those are just intraday candles. Short-term volatility doesn't matter. It matters where price can be next week, and a lot is guiding you to the upside. So Stick with the positions. Take what you want. I will see you in the afternoon. I'll be here. I'll be here in the afternoon. Probably be a really quick session. Quick session. Enjoy your lunch, guys. I will see you in a little bit.